take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
It's time!
It's Sunday, February 27th, 2022. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Tabor Cragen.
My name is Mason Knight. This is episode 110. Islam Makhachev versus Bobby Green recap. After that, we jump to some MMA news, and then we talk about the highly anticipated UFC 272 preview show. But before we do all that, Tabor, where do we begin?
With our very own website, Mason, thechurchofmma.com. Guys, if you want links to every single social media account, you want links to our Patreon, links to our church merch, Teespring store, go to thechurchofmma.com. All the links are also down in the description. Guys, if you want to buy a face mask, you want to buy a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a mug, and so much other apparel that we are constantly updating that store, go to our Teespring /thechurchofmma. Guys, if you want a discount on that merch, join our upper tiers on Patreon. You see that beautiful belt right there next to Mason? Go ahead and join that upper tier if you want to be alongside of us betting for the Church Coin Championship belt. $10 a month gets you into that. $10 a month also gives you a 10% discount on the merch. $15 a month gives you a 20% discount on the merch and a special Saint status on our Patreon. Guys, that Patreon, we are doing exclusive podcasts, exclusive audio-only podcasts, exclusive live streams, exclusive call-in shows, exclusive vlogs. So much exclusive content there, guys. Go join the Patreon, join the congregation. Guys, on YouTube as well. Join the congregation. Join the membership section on our channel. $2.99 a month gives you exclusive emojis. You see those in the chat already. Get a beautiful emoji of my gorgeous, gorgeous face and Mason's face as well. Hey, trying to say I'm not pretty?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to say we're not pretty.
It is
we got a face for radio, but we are here live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and Rumble. So shout out to our Rumble subscribers.
Yeah, guys, Twitch has much better quality than YouTube. So feel free to take this second, open up a second tab, have both streams up at once. We see all those chats on Twitch as well, and Facebook and YouTube. So thank you so much to everybody that is already here. I saw AJ Wolf down in the chat. Shout out to you, my guy. Thank you for showing up. Today, we're going to have a whole lot of fun on today's episode, Mason. I'm very excited to talk about this recap show. I think we shielded everything already, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let's start out with this main event: Islam Makhachev versus Bobby Green. We had broke this down. We had previewed this last week, and in a lot of ways, Tabor, like we knew what was going to happen. We knew Islam Makhachev would go out there and smash, but we had to hype up Bobby Green. We love Bobby Green. To take this fight on 10-day notice is absolutely phenomenal, and he did everything he could with a very shortened camp. And shout out to Bobby Green. He's got my respect and the love, and I do believe he's a top 15 guy. However, we got to look on the side of Islam Makhachev and how dominant he's been now in the lightweight division. I believe after beating Bobby Green, that is now 10 straight. He is now 22-1 in the toughest division in the UFC. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if anyone gets mad at this statement. Islam Makhachev is the next guy for the lightweight championship after UFC 274, Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. It absolutely has to happen. He is the number one guy in line. I know the Beneil Dariush fight fell out, and they might, do that fight again, but just give it to Islam.
I already know that's what everyone's saying. I already know it. But I'm going to play a little devil's avocado here.
Okay.
Because I agree with you. He's the next guy. He's the only guy. Like, give him the title fight. He deserves it. He needs to fight Oliveira. That is the most interesting matchup in this lightweight division. But I already know we're going to see it in the chat. We're going to see it here online on Twitter. People are already chirping up. He doesn't have a top 5 victory in the top 5. It's like, dude, he had his chance. RDA dropped out like 3 fucking times.
Correct.
Beneil Dariush dropped out this fight, broke his ankle.
Correct.
What are we going to do with Islam Makhachev? He needs to fight for the belt. 10-fight win streak in the toughest division in the UFC. If he doesn't get a title fight after this victory, even though it was over Bobby Green, who's an unranked guy, he should be ranked. He should be a top 15 guy. Deserve the main event. And the nuts on this man just for taking the fight is absolutely incredible.
My balls was hot.
His balls were hot last night, man.
Yeah.
And he was on one. I could tell how hyped he was. I could tell how excited he was for that fight. But then to come out, it seemed like Islam was going to strike with him for a few minutes.
For a little bit, but that's what Islam does. He baits you in. This guy is so smart when he fights. He's so strategic. Everyone is thinking, obviously Bobby Green's thinking, okay, he's going to take me down. What does Islam do? He goes, hey, I'm going to trade with you for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to take you down and smash you. And that's exactly what Islam Makhachev did. He stuck to the game plan and literally to perfection.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. let's just say Islam deserves a fight. I see Ant W in the chat already. Thank you so much for showing up. Islam will fight for a title in Abu Dhabi probably in October. Yeah? Sit and wait, dude.
October. I am not very familiar with the Islamic faith, but isn't that during Ramadan? Is October?
I think Ramadan's usually springtime.
Is it?
Yeah, because Khabib usually fights in October or November.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, because I believe he did fight Conor in November.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that actually makes sense. I think I agree with you, Ant. He deserves a title fight. It'll probably be in October. He's just got to wait for Olivieri Gaethje to happen, which is coming up very soon, next couple months. So I'm very excited for that matchup. Gun to my head, who's winning that? Olivieri all day. And then let's think about the grappling exchanges that can happen on the ground, the scrambles that can happen there with Islam Makhachev and Oliveira on the ground. I'm super intrigued by that matchup. That's the only fucking matchup I want to see right now.
And do you know what that is, everyone? Do you know what that matchup is? Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. That is Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson 2.0. The fight that we never got.
It really is.
The fight that everyone wanted to see. The superior grappling skills of Khabib Nurmagomedov going up against Tony Ferguson, the 10th planet jiu-jitsu fiend. That was always something we wanted to see. Well, now we're going to get it. Islam Makhachev, if Charles Oliveira goes out there and beats Justin Gaethje, we will get that matchup. We will see the superior grappling skills of Islam Makhachev, who might even be a better striker than Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yes.
With counteracting that with the crazy jiu-jitsu of Charles Oliveira. I absolutely love that matchup. And it's a matchup that every single UFC fan, every MMA fan out there wants to have.
We want it.
Yes.
We want it. Just mainline it right now, right into my veins. I want that shit now. Like, I can't wait. Like, seriously, like, make it happen. Yeah. Davey Ramos is better at BJJ than Oliveira. He's got a point. Dave Ramos is so dangerous on the ground, people avoid that at all costs. But so does Oliveira. Oliveira's got the most submissions in UFC.
Yep, that's what I was just
So, I mean, he's got the most submissions in UFC. Dave Ramos better at BJJ than Oliveira. Islam had his way with him. I think Islam walks through him. Dude, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to fucking say it, guys. Islam is the guy. He's the next lightweight champion. I don't see anybody defeating him. I think that's really one of the main motivating factors of why Khabib Nurmagomedov retired in the way he did. He knew that there was going to be another up-and-coming Dagestani and Islam Makhachev coming in, and I think that was his father's plan. Yep. Have Khabib win the belt, have him defend a few times, have him walk away with those millions of dollars, have him walk away on top, and then you give the chance to Islam Makhachev to come in and win that belt again. It all makes sense. This is Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov? Mm-hmm. That's his name.
Pretty
I'm
close,
fucking butchering it. I know that. But that was Abdulmanap's plan.
Yeah.
And it's coming to fruition, and Khabib, I know he's making his father proud right now.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, Islam Makhachev is making Dagestan proud because they are scary individuals. Not someone that I would particularly love to see in an alleyway. I'd be very scared, run the other way, as I often say on this podcast.
Double legs you immediately. He's like, hey, Islam, I'm a big fan. Just immediately double legs you, slams you on your head.
He's like, I smash even fens. I'm like, dude, this was bad. I should not have interacted with you in any capacity.
Yeah, Islam did that for Russia last night, man. Shout out to them.
Tabor, you gotta quit. You gotta quit with no. Jesus Christ, Tabor, you're gonna get us fucking pulled. I want everyone to know I am not fucking pro. Fuck Putin. He's a dictator. He's a piece of shit. I don't want to do this on the podcast. This is not where I wanted to do it. But this guy, he's just that fucking right winger. Like,
he put Russia on his back.
Crazy. Oh God, Tabor, you gotta stop.
Did it for Russia. That's so funny. No, I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, please. Clear that up for everyone. You are
Okay, Putin is bad. The fact I even have to say this is fucking stupid. Like, we all know Putin's bad. Okay, but now that we're talking about it, is it a little funny how the timing worked out? How we have like an extremely pro-Russian card going on with the geopolitical stuff that's going on in the world right now. Like, how crazy is that timing?
Yeah, it's crazy timing.
It was crazy timing.
Could have been better timed, I would say. But yeah, no, it's an absolute mess. But let's stick with the fights, guys.
Let's talk about fights.
So what's next for Bobby Green here? Bobby Green, obviously taking this fight on 10-day notice. We were talking about before this fight that he deserves a top 15 matchup, and I still am on that side. I still believe Bobby Green deserves a top 15 guy. And for me, a guy that would make sense, Saryukin coming off that very impressive win. But then again, Saryukin's not going to take that fight.
Do you want to do that to Bobby, though? Do you really just want to give him another
Give him
savage
another wrestler?
Yeah. Let's take it easy there. I mean, I like that matchup. We were talking about that last night. That's a good matchup for Bobby, but I want to see Bobby strike. That's where his bread and butter is. The head movement's beautiful. His striking's beautiful. His footwork's amazing. His boxing, his hands are perfect. I want to see Bobby Green fight like a Brad Riddell, dude. Yeah, that's the fight to make. Bobby Green, Brad Riddell. Brad Riddell coming off that Fiziev loss. Bobby Green also had a unanimous decision loss to Fiziev. That's the fight. Brad Riddell, Bobby Green. It doesn't have to be main event. It doesn't have to be 5 rounds. They don't have to train that hard. Do it in a couple months. I hope Bobby Green got paid very handsomely for taking this fight on short notice. And let's shout out to him because Gregor Gillespie turned that fight down.
Yep.
Rafael Fiziev turned that fight down. RDA turned that fight down. Saryukin turned that fight down. Like, a lot of people did not want to fight Islam Makhachev on short notice. For Bobby Green to take that fight, he deserves a big matchup and he deserves another big payday. I'm going to say it again. I said it last night. Conor McGregor, Bobby Green. Dude, I would want to watch that. I would love to see the striking exchanges there. Who can win on the feet there?
Yeah, I think the problem is for Conor McGregor, look at his trajectory. He's a big star, blah, 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 blah. The only issue that I have with that is it does not make sense on Conor McGregor's side if that fight were to hypothetically happen. Bobby's not even in the top 15. Conor needs a win. And here's the thing. Conor is a businessman. He knows. He can lose 11 fights in a row. But if he wins one fight, he's the next guy in line.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Islam Makhachev situation, obviously Khabib Nurmagomedov went out there, completely dominated Conor McGregor, obviously. So I think what he wants to do is fight his little brother. And I think realistically, Conor would take on a guy a little bit higher in this division. There are rumors, speculation that Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson are hooked up together. So in this lightweight division, Conor's sitting at 9. I don't really know who he gets matched up with to win the one fight to get the next shot after Islam. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, hypothetically, would it be a fun fight to watch? Yes, but to me, does it make any sense business-wise? No, it doesn't. Unfortunately.
I get that. I really do get that. Ant W could see Oliveira sleeping Islam with that sneaky hook, though. Oliveira's stand-up is sneaky, absolutely. We all saw what he did with the Michael Chandler fight there. Yep. After almost getting finished. And then even look at his last fight against Dustin Poirier. He was getting cracked and then started out striking him, took him down, took his back, and submitted him in the second round. So I'm super interested in that matchup. It's the only matchup to make Oliveira or Justin Gaethje versus Islam Makhachev next. If Justin Gaethje beats Oliveira, that's the only fight to make. Yep. Justin Gaethje, Islam. If Oliveira finishes Gaethje, Oliveira, Islam. Islam's the next guy. He doesn't have to wait. And W, Green versus Riddell is sick. Haven't even thought of that. Good matchmaking right there, 100%. And W, dream scenario for Dana is Islam winning the belt and Conor winning a fight. Islam versus Conor is the closest they could do for the numbers of the Khabib fight.
That's literally what I just said. Yeah.
Absolutely agree. 100% agree with that. Yeah, Islam's the next guy. Make the fucking fight. It's the only fight to fucking make, guys. I will not be happy unless that fight is made. Bobby Green, shout out to you, my guy. It's unfortunate that it went down the way like that. Let's just talk about the stoppage really quick because I was kind of a little ticked off last night. I thought it was really too soon. Yeah. Looking back on it now, I get it.
He was in a very compromised position.
He wasn't getting out of that position, and Herb Dean essentially just saved him from unnecessary damage because he was going nowhere, and he was just going to continuously eat those shots on the ground. And those were big shots Islam was throwing as well. So,
well, and not only that, but you have to look on the side of Herb Dean in all defense. I did get a little mad out on the Fight Companion because I wanted to see it go a little farther. But just to defend Herb a little bit, like
that was disrespectful. Herb. That was disrespectful to Herb.
You do it all the time. I don't even. I like Herb Dean, honestly, but no. On the side of Herb Dean, you look at a fighter who just fought 3 hard rounds, and yes, he looked great. It was a masterclass against Nasrat, and then on a quick turnaround against Islam Makhachev, he was protecting the fighter's safety there. And not only that, but Bobby Green was in a very compromised position. He was not getting out of it. After sitting on it and rewatching that fight, like I do believe that the stoppage was fine.
Yeah, the stoppage was absolutely fine. Last night, I was like, what the fuck? Way too soon. At least give him a chance to get out. He didn't have a chance. Yeah. Nothing was happening there. Herb saved him, and he did his job. He protected the fighter from himself, which is what you have to do. So shout out to Herb Dean. I give you a lot of shit, my guy, because you've been having not the best stoppages as of late. But it's disproportionate at sometimes, but it's the hardest and most criticized job in MMA.
Is it disproportionate because he's had so many UFC events recently? And can you tell me a bad stoppage in the last 4 or 5 months?
Yes. I mean, it's hard to name names off the top of my head, but yes, he's had a few that were really questionable.
Well, next week, bring the receipts, because I just, man, I feel like the hate on Herb is a little unwarranted, man.
It's not hate, man.
He's a good ref, in my opinion.
There
Every
are
so
times
often he gets it wrong, but
there are times he gets it wrong, and last night wasn't one of them, though.
Yeah, and how many fights has he officiated?
Fucking thousands.
That's what I'm saying. And like, you look at the percentages, and it's got to be under 2% of all fights that he's ever refed that, you know, we may be problematic.
True. I'll concede to that. Let's get into church coin picks. So I was all in on Islam. I had about 6,900 church coin on that bet, and I got 966 church coin return. Mason, you had 7,000 church coin on Islam to give you a 1,000 church coin return. And Cosmo, you're not in the chats, my guy, but hopefully we see you soon. You had 2,000 church coin on green. It did not work out for you there. Prop bets. So me and you changed our prop bets on the Fight Companion. We changed it from just Islam sub to Islam first round sub. I had 1,500 church coin on that. Did not happen, guys. It was a first round TKO, so we lost that church coin. You also had 1,000 church coin on Islam first round sub. Lost that one as well. And so did Cosmo. He had Islam by sub for 500 church coin. Nobody hit that prop bet. It would have been a big prop bet. It was like, what, like plus 300 or something like that?
I wish I would have went first round TKO, because that was pretty high, too. I think that was higher than 300.
Sub, yeah, 100% echo that sentiment.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Shout out to Islam Makhachev. Shout out to Bobby Green. Both of you guys are fucking savages, and I'm super excited for the future of both these men.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. We have Misha Sirkanov versus Wellington Turman.
Wow.
This was a good fight.
It was a good fight for as long as it lasted. And not only that, but Misha Sirkanov looked good in that first round. I thought he was putting together combinations. You know, obviously a few takedown attempts. They were working up against the fence. But then we get to round two. That might have been one of the quickest armbar taps I've ever seen. Like, literally just as soon as he was in position.
Extension,
oh, yeah, you saw it.
His shit was hyper-extended bad.
Yeah, and he was caught in that armbar. It did not look good.
Yeah.
But, bam, for Misha to tap now. And, you know, on Misha Sirkanov's side, he's on a bit of a skid now, man. It's looking rough for him, you know, making his move to middleweight. Things have just not gone great.
What's his losing streak at?
So losing streak, I mean, if we want to go all the way back, I mean, we're going to have to go all the way back to 2020. Actually,
for his last win?
Yes, 2019 was his last win. No. He beat Jimmy Crute in the light heavy. This was when he was a light heavyweight. Mm-hmm. He beat him via submission in the first round. In 2020, did not fight. His fight with Ryan Spann got canceled. It was rescheduled for March 13, 2021. He lost first round KO, TKO, and then he lost that decision to Jotko. And now with a loss to Wellington Turman, he's on a 3-fight losing streak now. So it's a rough go for him. He's 35 years old. You know, he's a good fighter, but man, he's got to get a win in his next fight.
Do they get rid of him and keep Sam Alvey?
No, I would hope we would keep Misha over Sam Alvey. Yeah, I do love
Sam Alvey, 9-fight losing streak, still in the UFC, getting rid of guys. Whatever. I like Misha Sirkanov. The skid sucks for the guy because now he's 15-8. He had a decent record, but Wellington Turman, I'm very high on this kid. He's fucking good. His striking was looking good last night, and then even to get the submission attempt from bottom against a guy who's got crushing top pressure like Misha Sirkanov, super impressive, man. Yeah.
Well, and not only that, but I mean, Wellington Turman is a very, very young guy in this UFC. He is only 25 years of age. He did lose a fight in 2020, bounced back against Sam Alvey. Imagine that. And then, you know, now with this win against Wellington, against Misha Sirkanov, he's on a 2-fight win streak now at 25. So a guy that you might want to asterisk because you could see a lot from this guy down the road in a few years.
Am I going to say it? I'm going to say it.
Go ahead.
The only matchup to make with Wellington Turman right now is Chris Weidman. No?
Nah, I don't like that matchup at all, if I'm being honest. Chris Weidman deserves a top 15.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't, dude. He needs to fight an unranked guy. That's why I'm saying you feed him this young savage, have Chris Weidman get sent out on a fucking platter for the kid. The kid knocks him out in the first round, and then you build your this is what the UFC does, dude. That's their MO.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with that. It was a freak accident the same way that it happened to Anderson Silva. It happened to Chris Weidman.
How many losses in a row though? It's like 5 losses, dude, or something like that.
He had won the fight before. He beat that big Russian guy not too long ago. He beat Akhmedov.
And that was right before the.
That was right before. That was the fight before Hall where he broke his leg.
Okay, so he's what 1-4 then in his last 5.
He's still a top 15 guy, though. Still a top 15 guy. I mean, you know, when you're losing to guys like Dominic Reyes and Uriah Hall, and, like, if you want to count that as a loss because he kicked him and then shattered his leg, I don't know. I like Chris Weidman, and I hope his recovery is going well.
We haven't had any news on his leg.
Yeah, I know. Which
is interesting because they did say
timetable when he's going to come back.
Yeah, well, they were saying his leg was not healing properly and he needed to go in for a second surgery. Yeah. But that was like 4 months ago.
It was a little while ago.
Yeah, so who knows what's going on there? Hopefully everything's good with Chris Weidman. I'd love to see. Okay, him and Luke Rockhold then.
Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah. I'll take that. Him and Luke. Yeah.
Okay, then if we're not doing Turman versus Weidman, Muniz, Yamov.
I don't think he's
even need a top 15 guy.
No, I don't think he's a top 15 yet. Honestly, no. He's going to need one more.
It is what it is.
It just is what it is. All right, one more then. Let's give one more unranked guy for Turman, and then he can go and knock out Chris Weidman. So shout out to Turman. I'm very excited for his career. Young guy, 18-5, Brazilian guy. So obviously he's got great jiu-jitsu, and he's got really good striking as well. So I'm very excited for his future. Misha Sirkanov, like, what do we do with him? Like, he's just, him and Chris Weidman?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Why would we give Sirkanov a top 15 guy, but not Turman, though?
Yeah, true.
It's just because you want to see Weidman get a win.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd like to see Chris Weidman get a win again. Yeah. I just like the bounce back story. I mean, what if he could make a run after that devastating injury?
Yeah,
that's a great story.
Anderson Silva, a run like for the belt. No.
Well, maybe even a run, a couple wins before.
Couple wins, maybe. I think. Well, he's the guy that probably should retire. Why are we talking about Chris Weidman?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it is too much. It's too much.
All right.
Okay, church coin picks. So I took Turman. I changed my pick last second. I think everyone was taking Sirkanov essentially, but I changed it. I put 550 church coin on him. He was a plus 100 even. So I got 550 return there. Cosmo, you took Sirkanov for 500 church coin. Did not work out for you there, my guy. Yeah.
I put 500 on Sirkanov as well and lost that one.
All right, let's move on to the next fight. Young Kim versus Priscilla Cashwaya. This was a great fucking fight. This was fight of the night.
Fight of the night for me as well. Wow, did these two ladies put it all in the octagon, or leave it all in the octagon? The exchanges between these two,
wild.
The elbows of Priscilla. Absolutely phenomenal performance by both these girls. It was a really, really great fight. A fun fight to watch, too. I mean, it even shut us up on the podcast. We're like, the second and third round, we were really focused in on it. These girls came out to fight, man, and just so much respect. And this needs to go without saying, but women's sports, there's no better sport in the world for women's sports than mixed martial arts.
I agree.
It's so competitive. It's so much fun to watch. And, like, they leave it all out there in the cage, man. I mean, what they were doing, the combinations they were throwing, and how tired both of them were, but they just kept pushing the pace, man. Priscilla really put it on in that third round, too. Mm-hmm. She was throwing crazy shots, throwing elbows left and right. Fight of the night for sure, and I hope these two ladies got paid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see the photo afterwards?
No.
Of them in the hospital? Oh,
Cashwaya.
Oh, dude, her face is all black and blue. And Young Kim, her face is all messed up too. She's got swelling on the side of her head, but it was cool, man. It was such a good fight.
It was
and
a
Priscilla
battle.
too. Priscilla was a plus 160 underdog, and ended up coming through on this one. So shout out to you, Priscilla.
So you had church coin on her.
Yeah, I put 400 on Priscilla and got a return of 640 church coin.
Yeah, Kim was in my parlay as well, so that busted me there. I would have hit that if Kim would have pulled. I thought Kim won the fight. I'm going to be honest. I thought she won the first 2 rounds. Priscilla definitely won that third, yeah. The second round was close, man.
Yeah,
Kim was landing the better counter shots, but Priscilla was probably landing the heavier shots, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that makes sense. It was a very close fight. Either way, like, I'm not going to say it was a robbery. I did think Kim edged it out, but just barely, man. So, I mean, it was super close. So, shout out to both these women. Absolutely fight of the night. Hopefully, they both got paid handsomely for that 50 grand each. I mean, this should have been a 50 grand bonus there.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So I put 300 church coin on Kim. Did not work out for me. Cosmo, you had 250 church coin on Kim. Did not work out for you either, brother. I see you in the chats now. You're here. Evening, joining a little late for this one. It is all good, my man. You are here now, and I cannot wait. We have not listened to your audio clip there for the preview show, so that will be coming very soon there.
Very excited.
Make sure you stick around for that, my guy. Let's move on to the next fight. We're going to go to Armin Saryukin versus Joe Alvarez. Dude, Saryukin's dangerous, bro.
Yeah.
Dangerous. This is a guy that's like, I know Islam beat him, but those grappling exchanges that were happening there, the way Saryukin was very competitive with an Islam Makhachev on the ground.
And I would say probably his closest fight.
Yes.
Too. I mean, outside of Islam getting knocked out back in the day, like this was his closest fight.
Absolutely.
Saryukin.
So this is a guy I'm asterisking. I know he's a top 15 guy already.
Yes, he is.
And so where is he ranked right now?
I believe he's either 12 or 13. Yeah.
And so he got that unranked win. He needs a big matchup, dude. I want to see him and Gregor Gillespie.
That's interesting you say that because I believe Saryukin was the guy who called out scared Gregor Gillespie.
Really? So
yeah,
he called him out?
He called him out in the post-fight. Yeah.
That's a great fight. That's a great fucking fight. Gregor's in that position, though, where, like, he can wait for a bigger guy. Like, he doesn't have to fight down. He's sitting at number 9. He might have to one more time.
I'm going to caveat that.
Go ahead.
Only because of this. So you've got Dustin Poirier in the works with Nate Diaz. He's number 2. Obviously, Justin Gaethje's taking on Charles Oliveira, UFC 274. Beneil Dariush, broken ankle. Islam Makhachev, next guy in line. Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson. Rafael Dos Anjos versus Rafael Fiziev. So it's like all of these guys right now are matched up that Gregor Gillespie and Saryukin actually makes sense to me right now because they're the two that are looking for a fight, right?
And even Gamrot's out there probably looking for a fight, too.
Yeah, Gamrot's probably out there looking for a fight, sitting at number 12. And obviously you have Conor at 9, but Conor at 9 is like one of those
not
things.
taking that fight. It's not happening. Conor's not taking
No, I know that. I'm not saying Conor's taking it. I'm just saying he's the last guy on this list. And he's at 9, but, Conor's going to wait for that big money fight. He's not taking a guy like Saryukin or Gillespie.
No.
So, I mean, at this point, yeah, give me Saryukin and Gillespie. I think that was a great call-out on Saryukin's part.
100%, and I'd love to see the grappling exchanges there. Are you shitting me? The savageness that could be on display there in the ground.
Yeah.
Who's going to take Gregor Gillespie down? It's going to be a guy like Saryukin or Islam. Like, I would love to see that. Yep. And, you put two grapplers together, usually they stand and bang. Let's stand and fucking bang in that one, too. I'm totally down with that. Gregor Gillespie, Armin Saryukin, sign me the fuck up. I put 600 church coin on Saryukin. He was a pretty big favorite. Only gave me, I think it was a minus 300. Yeah. So it gave me a return of 200 church coin there.
Yeah, and just on the side, because we didn't really break down this fight as far as like what happened. It was all Saryukin, and I think that's probably why we didn't break it down. Is because he took Joel Alvarez down and implemented that ground game in round 1, and then round 2 again just did the exact same thing. Completely dominated Joel Alvarez. He was in a very compromised position, and the ref had to pull Saryukin off the dead corpse, which was Joel Alvarez. No, I'm just joking. That's messed up. Respect to both fighters, just trolling a little bit. But, Joel was a guy, Joel Alvarez was a guy I was really hyped on. I was really excited for, and I'm still excited for because he's had very impressive wins. I think he'll learn a lot from this fight. I think he will bounce back, and that is exactly why I picked Joel Alvarez. I thought he could maybe outstrike Saryukin, maybe defend some takedowns. It did not go my way. I put 600 church coin on Alvarez and lost that one. But you know what? I think he'll bounce back and be better than ever.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a great fighter. Guy. So, yeah, it is what it is there. Cosmo, you also took Saryukin for 300 church coin, gave you a return of 100 church coin there. So, let's move on to the opening fight of the main card, Mason. Armin Petrocien versus Gregory Rodriguez. Very excited for that matchup. I did not know either of these men coming into this fight. I believe were they both making their USA debut, or did Rodriguez have a
USA debut?
Oh, shit. Did I say USA?
Yeah, you absolutely did.
God damn it.
UFC, no. So Armin Petrocien was a Dana White Contender Series guy. I believe he fought in October of 2021. Had a finish in that fight. This was his UFC debut. I wanted to make sure I emphasize that because I do often say USA. America, fuck yeah. But Gregory Rodriguez has been in the UFC for a little while now, a couple fights. So, but yeah, this fight to me, I wasn't paying the most attention to it, but when I was, it just appeared to me that Gregory was lighting Petrocien up here. I was very shocked with this split decision. I thought for sure it was in the bag for Gregory, but it did not happen. What were your thoughts on this fight, Tabor?
I didn't see him winning the fight at all. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I'm not going to lie, guys. We did not pay the most attention in this fight on the Fight Companion last night. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you go do that and leave that like down there. We had the 1,500 views on the Fight Companion last night. Very excited for that one. Islam always shows up with those big fans. So I did not see them. I did not see Petrocien winning that fight. I don't know what the fuck the judges were smoking. Maybe I was smoking crack last night. I don't know what was going on. I didn't even drink before when this fight was happening. So I was stone cold sober going into it. Maybe I just need to pay more attention. Maybe I need to go back and rewatch this. I did not see Petrocien winning that fight. Well, I thought he got dominated on the ground, and I thought he got outstruck on the feet as well. I'm not going to say all 3 rounds of Gregory, but if I had to judge it, I would have said 30-27.
Here's the most fascinating thing. Let's look at the judges' scorecard on this split decision. 29-28 Petrocien, 29-28 Gregory Rodriguez, and then one judge scored it 30-27 for Armin Petrocien.
I don't know what he
won
saw.
All 3 rounds.
I don't know what he saw, man.
I don't know. I mean, maybe we just weren't watching it as closely as we did. I mean, comment below in the chats, guys. What did you think about that fight? Who did you have in this opening fight? Because it was just the most confusing thing to me. It was a great fight, and I really enjoyed watching it. But, I guess it is what it is. For me, I laid 620 church coin on Petrocien and got a 930 church coin return.
It's just crazy. Cosmo put down in the chats my face at the decision. That's my face going,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, at least someone else thought the same thing.
I did not see Petrocien winning that fight. I don't know what was going on last night.
But I'll take the church
crack
coin.
Was being smoked. Yeah, you'll take it. I know. I put 200 church coin on Rodriguez. Did not work out for me. Cosmo, you had 100 church coin on Rodriguez. So Mason, you got a big return there with 620 on Petrocien. So you got 930 church coin return there. Let's talk about our parlays real quick before we move on. I had Islam, Kim, and Saryukin. Kim, I thought she won the fight, but it did not pan out for me, so I lost 1,000 church coin on my parlay. Cosmo, your parlay was Saryukin, Sirkanov, and Islam for 1,000 church coin. Sirkanov did not come through for you, my guy there, so you lost that 1,000 church coin as well. Yeah,
I went 2 for 4 on my parlay. I had Joel Alvarez, who lost, and then I had Kim, who lost, and then I had Sirkanov, who lost. But hey, Islam won. So yeah, I was 1 for 4 in my parlay. Did not hit that. I bet 500 church coin and lost that.
It is what it is.
Let's talk about new church coin totals. So we have a new leader. I was up this week before this last fight happened, only by a few hundred church coin. I lost about 1,400 church coin this week. So now my new total is 9,629 church coin. Cosmo, you lost like 4,000 church coin, dude. Exactly 4,000 church coin, actually, my guy. So your new total is 4,994 church coin. It's going to take a big parlay for you to make this comeback, bro.
Yeah, it's you might have to go put all your eggs in one basket because you are defenseless at this point. For me, I have 10,364 church coin. Very weird week for me. I only lost 30 church coins. So
very, very good for you, my guy. So it is neck and neck for me and you for this church coin championship. This is the last week of the church coin championship for the series. Who we will know very soon who the next church coin champion is. Will you defend it? Will I retain my belt in this defense? Or will Cosmo, like the dark horse, come out of nowhere and win the belt this week?
What if he hits a fat parlay and gets it?
Be so crazy.
Be crazy.
Be
crazy
so
story.
Cosmo, we have no idea what your picks are, my man. So hopefully you brought the fire this week. Cosmo said in the chats, it was a rough night for me. It really was.
It was, man. It was. You put too much faith in Bobby Green on 10-day notice.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is MMA news time, Mason. I feel like we say this every week. It's a rough week for MMA news. There's like nothing fucking going on. We had some fights announced, but they weren't massive. Like there weren't really like main events announced, so it's like we don't really have to talk about those. But Mason, there was a Bellator card on Friday in Dublin. Conor McGregor was in the crowd freaking out, of course, because in Dublin he's an Ireland. He was high on meth.
Sinead was there.
And
she was
drunk
fighting.
as fuck. Oh, Sinead was there. Sinead O'Connor.
No.
Singing in the octagon, getting her ass kicked.
The girl that he trains, I forget her last name, but yeah, you know what? Let's talk about that Bellator card. At least the main event. Gegard Mousasi made easy work.
Easy work,
bro.
of,
I could
Mr.
not,
Van Zant. What's his name? Austin Vanderford.
Yeah, Austin Vanderford. I could not believe how easy that was for Gegard Mousasi. He made it look easy. It was flawless performance on his part, and got the job done real quick. So shout out to Gegard.
He is so good that he took an undefeated fighter like Austin Vanderford and made him look like he didn't belong in the cage with them, dude.
It was wild to watch. Like you could see how drastically different these two were, and it definitely showed. I mean, it blew me away. I couldn't believe how fast that fight was over. I was like, okay, that's it.
I love Gegard. I love Gegard Mousasi. I do believe he's a top 5 middleweight in the world now.
Yeah, regardless of what organization.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
I think he'd be very competitive in the UFC still to this day, but you know what? He wasn't making the money in the UFC. That's why he went to Bellator. He wanted to get paid. He's definitely getting paid over there, and he's got great matchups. I mean, if he made the #1 contender and Austin Vanderford look like that, man, he's going to be very successful over there in Bellator. Shout out to Gegard Mousasi. Hopefully you were getting paid, my guy, and you are without a doubt a top middleweight in the world.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to other MMA news. So, how do we start this one off? Jon Jones was chirping up on Twitter.
Twerking? Jon Jones was twerking.
In the club. He was hammered.
I would have never thunk that.
Yeah, hammered drunk. No, he went on Twitter, and this is kind of sad because he's like, my wife left me about 2 months ago, and she just told me today that she's not coming back. If you're a Jon Jones hater, be happy because I feel like shit. That was his tweet. Yeah. He did delete this very soon. He needs a PR guy. He really needs a PR guy.
I agree.
He needs help. But he needs a PR guy.
What he needs is to give up all of his social media to a PR guy. I completely agree. Because, like, John, you're putting yourself in a position to be ridiculed. You're putting yourself in a position to have a lot of unnecessary hate come your way. Look, there are some problems with Jon. We all know this historically. The multiple car accidents, the drug problems, the picograms, the alleged abuse of his fiance in a hotel room, which is alleged because we do not know exactly what happened. So we have to.
But we've seen the video.
But we have to be careful on that.
It was alleged. There was no. What would you call it? Charges.
There's no charges. Yes. So that's why you have to say that. So, but all the things that Jon Jones is, and then like to go out there and tweet something like that, like you're going to get the hate, bro. Like people are going to say it's the internet. Like people hide behind a Facebook profile or a Twitter profile. They feel like it's not really them, and they can say just horrific and terrible things to you. But you don't. I'm trying to dance around this delicately because like we do have to have respect because they are human beings still. But all the mistakes Jon Jones has made, and like obviously with this alleged abuse that took place, like what, like are you trying to garner my sympathy? Because you're not going to get it. If anything, I'm sympathetic towards your fiance. Yeah, that she had to go through all this because you refused to get help and treatment. So like you're not. If anything, like I'm sympathetic towards your wife and your children because they're put in a very, very hard spot. And so that's who I'm sympathetic for because I can't be sympathetic to a guy who continues to mess up and doesn't get the help that he properly needs.
Never takes accountability. Never once did he ever come out and go, I fucked up. Yep. Like he already has this terrible public image. Just take some accountability, my guy. Yeah. Like that. I think that would do much better work for you in the end if you just took a little bit of accountability, but it doesn't come because it's Jon Jones. Right. And he's a narcissist. He's an egomaniac. It's just, this is the guy we know. And he always has been this guy. And it's unfortunate because I don't want to sit here and week after week shit on this man.
No, because
it's like we have been and we have to because he almost deserves it, man. Like eventually you just can't, like you said, man, I just have no sympathy for him.
Yeah, I have none. I mean, but here's the thing. Like I never count anyone out, and like I'm full of second chances and third and fourth and 11th chances.
Yeah, it's too many.
Which is but like I legitimately do root for Jon to get better, to be a better person, and to continue on this great legacy that he's on as a mixed martial artist. I'm not rooting against him. Never have, never will. I won't root against anyone if they're trying to better their lives and become a better person, but you have to show. You have to show it. And you have to do it. And hopefully this is the wake-up call. I know we have said this for the last 10 years.
Too many times.
But I hope this is the wake-up call that he needs and kind of that slap back to reality where he's like, wow, I lost my wife or my fiance, whatever. Now the kids are in a weird spot. Now I need to get some help. I need to turn things around because I'm rooting for him. I am rooting for Jon. As many times as he's screwed up, as many times as he has made me so mad that I don't even want to talk about him, I still wish the best for the guy, man. And anyone put in any situation, like, you can turn it around, but you have to actually, like, show that you're a new man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and he just hasn't done it.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And, of course, all the haters came out on Twitter as well. Colby Covington's the biggest one. Came out, and he's like, so you finally knocked some sense into her, I see. Oh man. He goes, congratulations, my guy. She finally smartened up. And then, of course, he leaked this DM, dude.
Now, is this confirmed? Did
yes,
he actually do this?
That was him, yes.
That was actually him?
And that was
like a Photoshop?
No, it was not. He leaked his DM to Jon Jones on Instagram. He DM'd them and said, hey, Jon, I know I talked shit on social media, and, you know, I just want you to know, whatever the social media's posts are, I want you to do good, and I'm rooting for you, and I hope everything's okay, man. And Jon Jones replies, worst decision he could have ever made. He replies, you know what, man? Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. And then Colby chirps right back up. Ha, you really thought I felt bad for you, you stupid piece of shit? Fuck you. And he goes, I just took this and it looks just like you. And he sent him a picture of a long turd coming out of an ass.
Butt. Yeah.
And he goes, this looks just like you. Oh my God. Hilarious. I'm going to say it was funny, but like, Jesus Christ, way to kick a man while he's way down.
Okay,
like,
so
Jesus.
like on the side of Colby there, Colby is the heel. He has took this persona and he has maximized it to its full potential. He's learned a lot from Uncle Chael and what he did with whole Anderson Silva. This is how you promote yourself, okay? If you want to promote yourself, if you're a wrestler like Colby was, they were thinking about cutting Colby Covington from the UFC. He had to change his persona up, and doing something like this is perfect because it's getting everyone to talk about it, to laugh about it, to enjoy it. And that's just what Colby Covington does. We got to accept it now. And I got to be honest, I don't like kicking a guy when he's down. Like, it is sad, and it sucks, you know, the whole situation with the kids and everything, but it was pretty fucking funny. If I'm being honest. So.
It was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. I was laughing. It was funny. Yeah. Shout out to Jon Jones. Nah, don't shout out him out. You know, he needs to get his life together, bro. I don't know how many fucking times we've said that. Like, just work your shit out, dude. Come back, fight for a heavyweight championship belt. That's all anybody wants to see. Focus all of this rage into the gym, man. Yeah. It's what he needs to do. Cosmo said Colby has no chill when it comes to public communication.
No, he doesn't.
Zero chill.
But you know what? I genuinely hope, Jon, I hope this is a wake-up call, and I hope he gets help. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, absolutely. That is it for MMA News. It is preview show time.
Let's go.
As always, we start at the top. Main event of the evening, Colby Covington, Chaos himself, coming in at a -330 to a +260, Jorge Masvidal.
Now,
I'm very excited for this matchup.
Can I ask you a question before we begin this? Looking at how stacked this UFC 272 is, typically with a pay-per-view, 9 times out of 10, you could even say 99 times out of 100, the pay-per-view headlines a title fight. Tabor, there was no title fight on the line. Not even the BMF belt is on the line, which I think was a missed opportunity business-wise. You could have had a lot more people be like, oh, the BMF belt's on the line, but apparently it's a one-and-done situation here. Are you, as an MMA fan, do you think we were snubbed, or are you very excited about this 5-round main event against Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal?
I'm glad it's 5 rounds, because if it wasn't 5 rounds, I would have said, hey, this is a travesty. Yeah. Both these men need to be fighting for 5 rounds. That was the beautiful matchup to make. I love the whole story in this. I love the background. Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal went from friends to foes in the matter of a few years, man. These guys were roommates together. They trained together every single day. They were best fucking friends. and now they're worst enemies. Now they hate each other. There's so much beef. Colby Covington got kicked out of his gym because he had fighters like Dustin Poirier, like Jorge Masvidal, like Joanna Jędrzejczyk wanting to check him in his very own gym. Now Colby's moved on to another gym. He's done several fight camps over there at his new gym. He now has chemistry with them. And even Jorge Masvidal, something happened there at his gym. He is no longer training at ATT himself. What is going on with this? Is this a work? Is this a WWE work? Because if it is, how elaborate is that? Because it's been going on for years. These men hate each other now.
Okay, I really want to hit on that point. But you said Jorge Masvidal is not training ATT. I just saw him post a video 2 weeks ago.
Is he there?
Yeah, you
okay,
missed
maybe
this
he's back.
Logo, bitch. You missed this logo talking about
I heard
Colby.
he got out of the gym too because there was some drama or something like that. Maybe he's back. Maybe they figured it all out.
Oh, okay. But anyway, is this a WWE act? Are these guys hamming it up a little bit? You know, it's a very interesting place to be in because I do believe there is some animosity and hate between these two. And I don't even know where this beef started. Supposedly, Colby Covington didn't pay one of his coaches the full amount that he was owed, according to Jorge Masvidal.
And then Jorge said that he was the one that paid the coach because he felt bad for him. Yeah.
Right.
And that was the start of it all.
And, you know, with who Colby is, you know, and his persona, I wouldn't doubt it, just with the whole persona and everything that he is. But this beef started, and it's so awesome to watch, like, the preview and the countdown for this card, because you see just how often, like, when you talk about best friends, when you talk about training partners, these guys were literally on the rise together. Like Jorge was like, yeah, this guy might be champ, but you know what? I'm going to be right behind him, supporting him the whole time, and vice versa, you know, when Colby won the interim belt and all that kind of stuff. It's just so wild to see the development of these two and how much they hate each other. And now they're finally going to fight. They're going to get it all out, and I'm so excited for this, man.
I'm excited for the matchup.
I think if we break this fight down, you know, Colby Covington coming in at a very heavy favorite here to minus 330 to a plus 260 on the side of Jorge Masvidal, coming in at the heavy 2.5 to 1 dog. You know, how I see this fight shake down, guys, I'll be completely honest with you. I think Jorge Masvidal is a wonderful striker. I think he's dynamic. I mean, we saw what he did against Ben Askren when he went for the immediate takedown. Not the best move in hindsight, but hindsight's 2020. So Jorge can knock people out, and he's done that throughout his career. But here's the thing on the side of Colby Covington. One, obviously, we'll talk about the wrestling. Colby is superior wrestler. And two, say what you will, guys, who has finished Colby Covington? If Kamaru Usman couldn't even over the course of 2 fights, I just don't see Jorge Masvidal knocking out Colby Covington. Realistically, I don't. Colby has got chin for days. I think realistically, the way this fight goes down, guys, is they might stand and trade the first round, but if Colby's in any sort of trouble, he immediately goes for the takedown. He takes Jorge Masvidal down, implements the ground game, and I think Colby either wins it one of 2 ways, TKO or a decision. And that is why I am that's why I'm betting on Colby Covington in this fight. I'm putting 3,300 church coin on him, and my prop bet is Colby by decision for 500 church coins. Tabor, do you want to break down this fight?
Can Colby stand with Jorge Masvidal? That's the biggest question. Can he stand with Jorge Masvidal? I actually think, yeah. Yeah, I think he can.
Stood with Usman.
And we saw how that played out multiple times now. Colby Covington's the second best welterweight in the entire world right now, other than maybe like an asterisk to Hamza Chimaev, a guy like that, a Gilbert Burns. Yeah. We haven't seen those matchups. But against Jorge Masvidal, yes, Jorge's got some of the best, cleanest striking. He's got some of the best boxing in the UFC, especially this welterweight division. But can Colby Covington compete with him on the feet? Can he outbox a Jorge Masvidal? I'm not going to say absolutely yes 100%, but would I be shocked if he wins a lot of these exchanges on the feet? No. I wouldn't be. I think Colby Covington's got extremely good hands. He's got extremely good striking. He's got extremely good kicks as well. His head kicks are sneaky, man. He could sneak those in and land those beautifully. I'm very high on Colby Covington's striking, and I haven't even gotten into the wrestling aspect yet. We all saw the RDA fight. He took RDA down multiple times in that fight. He pushed him up against the fence, kept him in those grappling exchanges, and completely dominated that fight. His best route to victory in this fight is to take Jorge Masvidal down, grind him into the mats for 5 straight rounds, and win a decision victory. I agree with you. That is the most likely thing. That might as well also be my prop bet. I'm probably going to take prop bet Colby Covington by decision. I'm going to pull this up right now. I have my prop as Colby. Let me pull it up. Colby. No. I'm actually going to head my bet here on my prop. Okay. I'm going to go Jorge KO.
Ooh.
I'm going to go Jorge KO for the prop bet.
Interesting.
But I am so confident that Colby Covington wins this fight. I think he's just a better fighter. I think he's going to be better on the feet. He's going to have crisper striking. He's going to land sneaky head kicks. And he's going to take Jorge Masvidal down. Yes, he can strike with Jorge, but his best route to victory is to take him down, grind him out in the mat for 5 straight rounds. I do think he's going to do that. So, I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of people are saying prop bet should be Colby decision. That's probably the most likely decision here. But I'm all in on Colby Covington with Church Coin. I think he's going to dominate this fight. I know he's a minus 300. 330 to be exact, so it's not going to be the biggest return ever, but I'm going to take that. I do believe he's going to get me a few thousand Church Coin here, and I do believe I'm going to ride on Colby Covington's back to a Church Coin championship, my guy. So I am all in on Colby Covington this week.
Yeah, and just to hit a couple more points too, not only is Colby a great striker, but the amount of output that he has,
the cardio,
and the cardio of Colby Covington, no one can deny the great cardio that Colby Covington has. Now on the side of Jorge Masvidal, still very impressive with Jorge Masvidal. In that first fight with Kamaru Usman, he went 5 rounds. Yes, I understand it was complete dominated.
The foot completely destroyed this fucking Jorge's foot, dude.
Totally. But, the cardio aspect on both these fighters, both these guys can go 5 rounds. But again, I just think Colby puts everything together better. But Jorge Masvidal could definitely knock him out. I mean, we've seen Jorge knock out guys we never thought he'd knock out. So it is possible. We will see. But, I'm sticking with Colby on this one.
Absolutely. Cosmo's in the chat. He said Colby's an absolute workhouse, porn star, cardio. He's always working on that cardio. Every time he has those Instagram videos of the hot chicks, he's like, get my cardio in tonight, boys. So cringe, but I fucking love it.
What's up, virgin nerds?
Nerds and virgins in the house, eh?
I love it. It's a shtick. It is what it is, man.
It's so funny.
What it is.
I love the guy. I really do. So many people hate the guy because he's a Trump supporter, a right winger, fucking fuck this guy. But so is George. If you're a liberal, if you're a Biden voter, you're probably not going to watch this weekend because let's be real. Both these men love the guy.
What do you mean? This is a perfect opportunity. Everyone tune in. I don't care if you're left or right. If you enjoy this sport, please tune in. And if you are, then you can watch a Trump supporter get knocked out.
By another Trump supporter.
Yeah, so it's great. Yeah, so they're just going to beat the shit out of each other. It's going to be a good time, guys. Very much looking forward to this main event. And we haven't even gotten into the rest of the card. The rest of the card is completely stacked.
Yes, let's talk about this co-main event of the evening. RDA, Rafael dos Anjos, coming in at a plus 200 to a minus 240. Rafael Fiziev. Oh my fucking God. This was supposed to be the main event a couple weeks ago, and it fell out because there were some visa issues with Fiziev on his end. Now they made this as a 5-round co-main event for this card. 2 back-to-back 5-round bangers. I cannot fucking wait for this co-main. I'm actually might be more hyped for this co-main than I am the main. Let's be real.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic lightweight matchup. Rafael Fiziev, the striking, the footwork, the Muay Thai. He's a fucking expert. He's so dangerous on the feet. Can RDA find a way to outstrike Fiziev? I don't know. I think RDA's best route to victory is actually to take Fiziev down and try to grind him out on the ground. RDA's got beautiful jiu-jitsu there as well. He's got great top pressure, but he also has fantastic hands, dude. This man is one of the sneakiest, most well-rounded fighters that we've seen in a very long time. Not only was he extremely competitive at 170 pounds, but now that he's moving back down to 155, bro, he slits right into this top 5 beautifully, in my opinion. And if he could beat Fiziev, you give him a big matchup.
Oh, absolutely. You give him a huge matchup. And the name that RDA is, Rafael dos Anjos, has been around for a long time. He's one of, elite contenders, whether it be welterweight, lightweight, he fights everyone, anyone. On the side of Rafael dos Anjos, 30-13 in his professional career. He is getting older now. This will probably be his last title run. He is now 37 years of age. It's been a rough go for Rafael dos Anjos. Obviously, has not fought. And check this out. This is pretty crazy. He has not fought since November 14th of 2020 when he beat Paul Felder via decision. He had a few fights fall out in 2021, one of those being Islam Makhachev. And it's been a very rough road for him. Obviously, taking a year and a half, actually, no, 2.5 years off. That's a very long time for a fighter to take off. And he's fighting a savage like Rafael Fiziev, who's coming off 2 very impressive wins back-to-back. I think it's a tall order for Rafael dos Anjos, but if anyone could get it done, it's RDA. And I cannot count this guy out. I think Rafael Fiziev has got a few minor holes in his game that RDA could expose. I should say Fiziev is a great striker. I do love that, but I think RDA will implement some of that ground game, as you brought up, try to take him down, try to get him tired, and maybe RDA trades with him in those later rounds, After he, I think what RDA is going to do, he's going to attack those legs a lot. He's going to go for takedowns. He's going to make this fight dirty in the first 2 rounds. And then 3, 4, and 5, he very well could stand and bang with Fiziev after he gets him tired.
Which I think would be a bad idea on RDA's part, because I believe Fiziev is going to have 5-round cardio in this fight. I think he's going to last all 5 rounds. I'm expecting this fight to go decision. I'm expecting 3-2 or tightly contested split.
Just to caveat that, I do not believe Fiziev has ever gone 5 rounds in his career.
Nope, this is his first 5-round fight. This is his first main event.
And so that, 3-round cardio and 5-round cardio, as we all know, if you watch the sport, is completely different. Guys who can do a solid 3 rounds waver in the 4th and 5th round, especially in their first 5-round main event. If RDA can get it out there and take him into those deep, murky waters, which are known as the championship rounds, I think RDA's actually got a better shot the longer it goes, because RDA has been there. He knows what it takes. He's been in 5-round fights multiple times in his career. So I do think that RDA knows the type of cardio he's got to have for 5 rounds. And if he can get into the latter rounds, I actually think RDA's got a better shot here. I do like the odds here, and I actually do agree with him. Rafael Fiziev coming in a -240 favorite, so he's a heavy, heavy favorite. Rafael Dos Anjos, RDA, coming in at a +200 underdog. I like the dog here. I like him at a +200 value. I'm going to lay 750 church coin on RDA for the win.
All right. That's a great pick. I mean, plus he's the dog, man. You never know. You really never know. And it's a big dog, too, at a +200.
It is.
Could be a great return for you. I'm taking Fiziev. I think Fiziev's going to be too clean on the feet. It's going to be very difficult for RDA to win some of these exchanges, but I agree. If Fiziev does not have 5-round cardio, if he gets into these championship rounds and starts to fade, that is where RDA is going to shine. Yep. Do not be shocked, guys, if this is a split decision. Do not be shocked if this is a draw. This is a highly contested matchup between elite lightweight contenders. I'm very excited for this matchup. I'm going to take Fiziev. 500 church coin, probably goes decision. Probably goes all 5 rounds, and I think Fiziev can get it done. I think he's probably going to squeak out a 3-2 victory.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's move on to the next fight. Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell. Edson Barboza coming in at a +130 to a -155 Bryce Mitchell. I am very excited for this matchup, dude. This is Bryce Mitchell's biggest matchup to date, dude.
Yeah.
Biggest matchup to date, and this is a fantastic matchup for him to make. He is fighting one of the most savage and elite strikers at 145 pounds in Edson Barboza. He was a top 5 guy at lightweight, moved down to 145, found a lot of success, did run into Giga Chikadze, got flatlined in that last fight, and now he's trying to bounce back against Bryce Mitchell. I love this matchup, man. I absolutely do. Bryce Mitchell is undefeated in the UFC. He has yet to lose inside of the octagon. So, what do we do here? What is Bryce Mitchell's success? We all know it's the ground game. We all know it's the wrestling. We know it's the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu phenom. He's one of the only fighters in the UFC history to have a twister. Not only does he have one, he had almost 2. He almost got it in the very next fight. He had that guy in twister position multiple times. But when he wasn't tapping, when he wasn't getting the perfect submission, he was beating the absolute piss out of that man on the ground. That is Edson Barboza's kryptonite, is the ground game. Every time he's fought an elite ground fighter, he has gotten taken down and he has gotten smashed. Yeah. Completely smashed. Can Edson Barboza keep this on the feet? If he does keep it on the feet, it is going to be extremely difficult for Bryce Mitchell to get this victory. It's almost a little shocking that this line is what it is. You'd almost think Edson Barboza would be the favorite in this matchup.
Yeah, I do get on the side of Vegas odds. Obviously, Bryce Mitchell undefeated in the UFC. So it does make sense, and not only that, but Edson Barboza coming off that 3rd round KO loss to Giga Chikadze, where, Chikadze did, in all fairness, piece him up. This is an interesting line, though, for this reason and this reason alone. Bryce Mitchell did not compete in 2021. His last win was on Halloween of 2020 against Andre Fili via decision. So it has been a long layoff for Bryce Mitchell, whereas Edson Barboza has been extremely active, and he's also a savvy vet who is obviously another guy who's fought in multiple divisions. I do understand that. It's basically the striker versus the grappler here, and I understand that this is the matchup. This is how it's going to be. If Bryce Mitchell can take Edson Barboza down, if he's effective, he can keep Edson Barboza on the mats, I think Bryce Mitchell wins the fight. If it's staying standing, I still think Edson Barboza is one of the best strikers in the featherweight division. One of them, obviously, we've got Max Holloway, we've got a few of them, Yair Rodriguez, but, still top 15 echelon, unquestionably. And I got to be honest here. I like Edson Barboza at the dog here at a plus 130. I was a little shocked with this line. I kind of thought it would be even money, maybe Edson Barboza, the slight favorite. But Bryce Mitchell coming in at a minus 155 favorite at 14-1. I don't know, man. I just think Edson Barboza is going to be working very hard in his camp on his takedown defense. And I think Edson has learned a lot over the course of his career. He's been taken down. He's been beaten to a pulp. And, fighters typically learn from that. And I think Edson's been training for that. And I just have more confidence in Barboza than I do Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell went on the Ariel Helwani podcast and didn't even talk about his fight. Was kind of just freaking out about world and everything going on in the world. And I just wonder if Bryce Mitchell's head is in the right spot because he seemed very fired up, very just crazy about what's going on in the world. Didn't even want to talk about fights or anything. So that does concern me a little bit. I just wonder if he's in the right headspace. I know Edson Barboza is. That's why I'm taking Edson Barboza in this, and I'm very confident in this decision. I'm gonna put 2,000 church coin on Edson Barboza for the win.
Really? Okay. Yep. That's interesting. That could be a big return there because he is the underdog. But I disagree. I'm actually going with Bryce Mitchell in this matchup. I think Bryce Mitchell's going to take him down. I think he's going to get him in a twister position. I wouldn't be shocked. I think even if Bryce Mitchell's on his back, let's say there was a crazy scramble, Edson Barboza gets on top, I think Bryce Mitchell has the weapons to do something. We could see another armbar. He's got fantastic jiu-jitsu. It just depends. This is a beautiful matchup, a striker versus grappler matchup here.
It is.
And what usually happens in striker versus grappler matchups, 99% of the time, if he goes down to the ground, the grappler wins.
Yeah, I just think Mitchell's going to run into that knee as he's going in. I think Edson's going to put him out.
Edson's got so many weapons.
He does.
He's got so many weapons. He's an extremely dangerous fighter.
Yep.
But I'm going with Bryce Mitchell in this matchup. I'm going to put 500 church coin on Bryce Mitchell. I do believe in the thug nasty. I believe in the jiu-jitsu. I think he's going to take him down, and I think he's going to grind out a victory. Do not expect this to be a domination if Bryce Mitchell gets victory. I think it's going to be a very close fight. This is a very tightly contested matchup. Can Bryce Mitchell get him down? That is the biggest asterisk here. I'm going with Bryce Mitchell. I do believe it's going to happen, and I think he's going to squeak out the victory 2-1. Bryce Mitchell, 500 church coin. Let's move on to the next fight. Kevin Holland versus Alex Oliveira.
You know what's really great about this card is every fight I'm genuinely super excited for.
Yeah, it's a great card. It's a fantastic one.
And Kevin Holland making his welterweight debut.
Yes. I believe he's taken a welterweight fight before.
You're right, but I should say coming back.
Primarily fighting at middleweight, yeah. I think Kevin Holland is a welterweight. Yeah. I think this is where he's going to find way more success, and I love this matchup, Alex Oliveira. Kevin Holland coming in at a minus 240 to a plus 200, Alex Oliveira. I agree with the line. I think Kevin Holland's going to knock Oliveira out. I think he's just got fantastic striking. If Oliveira could take Kevin Holland down, we all know what can happen. That is how you beat Kevin Holland. You take him down on the ground. He's got zero game off his back. And I hate saying that because I'm the biggest Kevin Holland dick rider on the podcast. I love this man. I think he's fucking hilarious. People hate the man because he's like, oh, he's not taking it serious. He's being a clown. He's just talking shit in the octagon. It's like, dude, that's who he is, bro. Like, there hasn't been a single fucking fight this man hasn't talked shit in the octagon. Let Kevin Holland do his thing. I think he's going to outstrike Oliveira. I do believe he's the better fighter on the feet. If it goes down to the ground, vice versa, man. I think Oliveira wins if it goes down to the ground. But I believe in Kevin Holland's takedown defense. That's all he's been drilling lately.
Yeah, so here's my take on this. I agree with the line. I actually think the line should probably be farther apart. First off, we look at Kevin Holland and how good of a striker he is, fighting at middleweight for a long time. The biggest gap in his career, or biggest in his game, is obviously his takedowns and getting beat on the ground. Kevin Holland has worked extensively on his takedown defense, working off of his back. He's worked with guys like DC. I think he is prepared and ready for this fight. He's obviously a big guy, obviously coming down to welterweight from middleweight to a guy who is an absolute savage in Alex Oliveira. He might not win every single one of his fights, but damn, is his fights always impressive.
Always
fun to watch, man. Always. However, I think Kevin Holland, he wins everywhere. I don't think Alex Oliveira is going to be able to take Kevin Holland down. I think he's going to work too much. I think he has worked too much on his takedown defense. Kevin obviously being the bigger guy, and I think Kevin just completely outstrikes him and dismantles him. I've got Kevin Holland all day in this fight, guys. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm putting 1,400 church coin on Holland for the win.
I'm also taking Kevin Holland in this fight, guys. I'm going to put 1,000 church coin on Kevin Holland for this matchup. I do believe he's going to get the victory. I'm extremely confident in this fight. So Kevin Holland all day there for me. Let's move on to the next fight. We have Sergey Spivak versus Greg Hardy. Spivak coming in at -220 to a +180. Greg Hardy, a heavyweight banger. Greg Hardy's just going to go in there and go for the kill. Can Spivak take Greg Hardy down? I just keep repeating myself with every single one of these fights. If Spivak can knock Hardy out too, he's a fucking fantastic striker. Both these men have one-punch knockout power. Hardy's going to try and take his soul. Can he do it? Can he land the one punch? He's been very timid as of late in Greg Hardy's last few fights. Yeah. Extremely timid, trying to set that big punch up, which is smart because you can't just go in there and blitzkrieg people half the time, you know?
No, but I think a lot of that had to do with the fight against Alexander Volkov.
Yeah.
I think that's when he was really started to be like, oh, okay, I need to really time these punches. I can't just go in like a madman and try to knock him out because it's not going to work well for him.
Yeah, it just is what it is. I don't want to lay a lot of church coin on this fight because I want to take Spivak, but he's a -220. I don't think I'm going to get a big return. I'm just going to take Hardy. I'm going to do minimum bet 100 church coin on Greg Hardy. Either man can win this fight. Probably Spivak's way more likely to win it. That's why he's the big favorite coming in at -220. Don't be shocked if Spivak takes Hardy down. Don't be shocked if Spivak just completely outclasses Hardy on the feet. But can Hardy land the punch? That's the biggest question. If he does, he could get a knockout. He very well could.
He definitely could. You know, let's look at the course of Greg Hardy over the last 2 years. Lost Alexander Volkov, the fight that I just brought up. Then he went on a 2-fight win streak, 2 very impressive performances, one against Yorgan de Castro, the other one against Maurice Green. Mm-hmm. But then he got a bump in the echelon of competition. You know, he lost in the second round to Marcin Tybura with that TKO, and then he got knocked the fuck out against Tai Tuivasa in that very first round, and that was the Poirier-McGregor 3 card. So, you know, he is on a bit of a skid here, you know, losing 2 straight fights. And now he's got a very tough guy like Sergey Spivak in front of him. You know, Spivak has had a very impressive career as well. He is coming off that loss, but that's to one of the top contenders in the heavyweight division, Tom Aspinall.
Yep.
And before that was on a 3-fight win streak, defeating guys like Carlos Felipe, Jared Vandeira, and Alexei Oleinik before losing to Tom Aspinall. I think realistically, I think Spivak can get the job done. He's the better striker, in my opinion. I think he can put together the combinations, but you got the power of Greg Hardy, and it only takes one from Hardy as well. Mm-hmm. But I think if Sergey just sits back a little bit, lets Greg get tired, kind of pieces them apart, throw some combinations that aren't the heaviest, but they land and they're crisp, clean shots, I think Spivak all day. At a -220 favorite, I am going on the side of Greg Hardy with that knockout power, though, just because he's a dog here. And I love heavyweights because this is the division where it's like anyone can be an underdog and then one punch. So I'm going with that one punch capability here. I'm going to lay 1,000 church coin on Hardy for the win.
And W said Spivak has very good wrestling, beat Tuivasa pretty easily. True. Yeah. He's got very good wrestling.
That's a good point, too.
He might just take Greg Hardy down and grind him out for 3 rounds. Wouldn't be shocked if he just tried to avoid the power there. Let's move on to the main event of the prelims. Jalen Turney versus, Jalen Turner coming in at -125 to a +105. Jamie Malarkey. Flip a fucking coin with this fight, dude.
Yep.
Someone's going to sleep. Someone is going to sleep in this fight. Expect these men to stand and bang. Do not be shocked if this doesn't leave the first round. Both of these men have knockout power. Both of these men are extremely dangerous. Both of these men are fucking game to go and get into a firefight. Jalen Turner is very fucking good on the feet, and he's got fantastic wrestling and jiu-jitsu as well. Very well-rounded fighter. But you could say the exact same thing about Jamie Malarkey, man. And Malarkey, he just has a way of just finishing dudes, man, in beautiful fashion. Throws extremely heavy shots. He works the body very well as well. I'm very excited for this matchup. Flip a coin, man. I'm going to go with Jamie Malarkey. He's a light dog, a very slight dog here at a +105. But I'm going to take Malarkey. I'm going to put 250 church coin on Malarkey. I think he goes out there, and I think he gets a very tightly contested victory. I wouldn't be shocked if this goes to decision. I also wouldn't be shocked if he gets the TKO.
All right, yeah. On my side here, we're talking about Jalen Turner being a good striker and a powerful striker, and I do not disagree with that. But we also have to look at his resume and what he's been able to accomplish in the octagon cage. Out of his last 3 wins, 2 of those come by very impressive submissions, one of them being over Brock Turner and then Uros Madik. He submitted him in the first round as well. So Jalen Turner, is an all-around great fighter. On the side of Jamie Mullarkey, though, I do believe actually Mullarkey's got more power. He's KO'd everyone that he's fought, at least this last year in the UFC. That really impressive knockout against Kama Worthy, with 40 seconds into the fight, and he KOs him, and then does the same thing to Devontae Smith in the second round. I really do like this matchup. I think it could go either way. It's a coin flip for me. But I just believe a little bit more that if Jalen Turner can get this on the mats, I think he's got a better shot, and I think he very well could also submit Jamie Mullarkey. So for that reason, I'm putting 250 church coin on Turner for the win.
All right. Let's talk about the last matchup we're going to talk about. I don't know if we're going to put church coin on this because we did not tell Cosmo to pick this fight, but if you want to, we can. You want to put church coin on this fight? But it's just such a big fight, we have to talk about it.
Yeah, we just have to at least talk about it.
Let's just talk about it. Let's not bet on it. Yeah. We don't know if this fight's going to be live for our Fight Companion. Fight Companion will be this weekend, guys. Make sure you tune in for that. But the next fight on the prelims leading into that main event there, we have Marina Rodriguez at a -280 to a +230. Yan Zhao Nan. This is a possible number 1 contender matchup here in this strawweight division. Marina Rodriguez is setting herself up to be the next girl in line.
Absolutely.
And this is a fantastic matchup on the feet. Yan Zhao Nan's got crazy fucking power. She's extremely good on the feet. I believe she's coming off that loss, correct, to not Watterson.
Marina?
No, Yan Zhao Nan.
Oh, Yan Zhao Nan is she just lost to Carla Esparza.
Yes, and that was essentially a number 1 contender matchup. If Yan would have won that fight, she'd been fighting Rose next. But now we know Carla Esparza is going to get the fight. That rematch is going to be made. Her and Rose Namajunas will be happening very soon. Very excited for that matchup. But this is a number 1 contender fight here.
Yes.
Marina Rodriguez, Yan Zhao Nan. Marina Rodriguez is looking so fucking good. She is so crisp and clean on the feet. She's got fantastic footwork. She has got fantastic hands. She has knockout power at 115 pounds, which you cannot say about a lot of girls in this division right now.
Nope.
You cannot say that they have knockout power in those hands, and she does. She's going out there. She's finishing girls. She's going out there. She's getting in wars with women, and she is beating the ever-living shit out of them. But if Yan Zhao Nan lands a few of those power shots, gets Marine on her back foot, would I be shocked if Yan Zhao Nan gets the victory? No. This is a fantastic matchup, man. I am super excited for this fight. I love 115-pounders. I love this division. It is the most competitive women's division, in my opinion, and it is it's my favorite, dude. Yep. It's my favorite division, without a doubt. I'm taking Marina Rodriguez in this fight. I believe she's just a better striker. She's going to completely outclass Yan Zhao Nan on the feet, but if Yan lands that power, you never know what can happen. She absolutely has one-punch knockout power at 115 pounds.
Yeah, see, I kind of slightly disagree with what you have to say there. I do agree Marina Rodriguez is a fantastic striker, but I mean, let's not say Yan Zhao Nan is not at that level. I do think she is.
She is at that level.
She's a very technical striker. Exactly. She really is. She puts combinations together well. I think overall her head movement's good. She's got those sneaky head kicks that she throws. She is a dangerous opponent for Marina Rodriguez here. And, on the side of Marina Rodriguez, I was so impressed with the last couple of her fights. Amanda Ribas, she finished in the second round via elbows, via TKO. And then she goes out there, completely dismantles Michelle Watterson, wasn't even close. And then Mackenzie Dern. This was the most impressive win to me, Tabor, because Mackenzie Dern was on the up and up. She's a jiu-jitsu fiend. It only takes one little mistake, and Mackenzie Dern will end your night in the first round. She'll submit you. And Marina Rodriguez, it was weird because Dern, like in that second, third, fourth, she wasn't going for the takedowns or anything.
She couldn't get them. Every time she went, she was getting stuffed.
Exactly.
Marina's very good takedown defense.
Marina Rodriguez is a top dog in this strawweight division. However, on the side of Yan Zhao Nan, she's had very impressive wins over the course of her career in the UFC. She was on a 6-fight win streak before coming up short against Carla Esparza, beating girls like Claudia Gadelia, Karolina Kovacevic, Angela Hill. I do like Yan Zhao Nan in this fight. However, I am going to put. Actually, I'm not betting on this fight.
betting
Never
on
mind.
it.
We're not betting on this fight. That's
If
why
I
was
had
like,
to, I'm taking Rodriguez. I know she's a favorite. I know she's a minus 240 or something like
Yeah,
that. But
she's
I
a
mean,
heavy
I'm
favorite.
taking her in that fight. I think she's on a run. I think she's going for that belt, and I would love to see her matched up against either Carla Esparza or Rose Namajunas. But if Rose Namajunas loses to Carla Esparza, do they do the trilogy fight? Because it is a rematch right off the bat. I don't know, because she kind of just won her belt. Maybe she wouldn't be the most deserving immediate trilogy matchup, but it's one that could be made regardless. Very excited for Marina Rodriguez's future. And if Jan Zhaonan wins the fight, slip her into a title fight too.
Yeah.
I'm totally cool with that.
all right.
Totally cool. Let's get into parlays to end this show. My parlay for this week is Colby, Fazeev, Mitchell, Holland for 500 church coin. I do believe, I'm kind of just like going with my picks here, but I believe all four of those men are going to win. I'm confident that all four of those men are going to win. I'm kind of going out on a limb with Mitchell here because our Barboza fight is a fucking tightly contested matchup, but I am sticking with Mitchell. I'm going to take that 4-fight parlay for 500 church coin. They're all favorites, so I'm probably not going to get the biggest return on that 4-fight parlay, but it's still a 4-fight parlay, so I should be a decent one at least.
Yeah, a decent one for sure. My parlay this week, you guys can lock this bad boy in, take it to the bank, deposit it, because I have a very good feeling this one's going to hit here. I have Kevin Holland to start things off. After that, I like Edson Barboza at a plus side of things. You can get a little value there in that parlay. I know Kevin Holland's coming in at a heavy favorite of minus 240, so this plus will help you a little bit in the parlay. And then I got to go with the heavy favorite again in the main event, Colby Covington. So 2 heavy favorites, and then I throw in a dog there just in case. I'm putting 1,000 church coin on this parlay for the win.
All right. Let's go to Cosmo, our Patreon subscriber. His picks, he sent in another audio clip, guys. I don't know if it's a wrap. We have not listened to it yet, Cosmo. I'm sure you're excited to hear this one as much as we are.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Cosmo.
Wait.
Guys, if you want to bet alongside of us for this church coin belt, that belt right fucking there in front of Mason, you need to be a Patreon subscriber. You need to be in the upper tier. $10 a month gets you into that competition. So without any more to say, here is Cosmo Reverb's picks for the week.
Evening, boys. I'll keep this on short and sweet. I'm in a rough spot with the church coin, so I've got to get a little wild for this last week. First off, Turner versus Malarkey on the prelims. I put 150 on Malarkey. Onto the main card, we start with Spivak versus Hardy. I'm taking Spivak for 220. With Holland versus Oliveira, I'll take Oliveira for 500. Next up, Barboza versus Mitchell. I'm taking the underdog Barboza for 750.
Yeah.
Now this next fight is my best chance for the highest payout. As the biggest dog on the card outside of Masvidal, I have to take RDA over Fiziev.
Yeah.
I'm going all in on the former lightweight champ on that one. And if all goes well with that fight, I'll be putting 1k on Covington for the W in the main event.
Oh, wow.
I'm taking Colby for a prop as well. Decision for 500. And for my parlay, I'm doubling up on my picks. That's Spivak, Oliveira, Barboza, RDA, and Covington for 1.5k. And my biggest parlay gamble yet. Gotta risk it all if you want to win. But Tabor, if I don't get it, make sure you take that belt off Mason.
Cosmo, you dirty bastard. You dirty bastard.
He just doesn't want to see you win. He's like, fuck Mason. That piece of shit is not getting the belt. I'm coming in hot, Cosmo. Me and you are both going for it, boy. I'm going to probably change some picks up. Fuck it. I'm going to put all my church coin on the line. I know I'm all in on Colby, but the all in on RDA, I like that.
That's it's a bold move, Cotton. Bold move.
Ballsy.
But,
And the big parlay, too. The
yeah.
big boy parlay. I love it. I love it, Cosmo. Shout out to you, my guy. We appreciate the hell out of those. So last week for the church coin betting, man.
Yep, it is.
And we're kind of all going all out.
Oh, yeah, you have to. Last week, it's not close. Or, I mean, it is close this week. Unlike when I won the belt, I had a huge advantage. So I didn't put everything on the line. I am putting every bit of church coin on the line here for sure. Cosmo, thank you so much for that voice over there. And I like it, man. You kind of surprised me in Tabor. I was very shocked with that all in, but I like it. I like it.
Yeah, he said in the chats, I risk it all. And you absolutely are here, my guy. Yeah. You're going for it, which is what you need to do, dude. I mean, you're sitting at 5,000 church coins, so you need to make some big fucking moves. And that's a big boy parlay. If that parlay hits, it might be a wrap, especially if ours doesn't.
Yeah, it's a 5-fight parlay, so he'll win.
Yeah, he'll have to.
Yeah, well, 1.5 thousand on that 5-fight parlay would be a massive return. It doesn't matter if you have a bunch of favorites in there. He's got RDA in that parlay, and then who else?
Oliveira.
Oliveira. Yeah, if he hits that, it's a wrap. He wins. which would be the craziest comeback in church coin history. But if anyone can do it, it's Cosmo Reverb. As much as the guy doesn't like me.
We got faith in you, Cosmo. We know you can do it. Shout out to everybody that showed up here in the chats tonight. We appreciate the fuck out of each and every single one of you. Cosmic, I saw what you're saying. You're talking some shit there in the chat. You cannot bitch about the producing if you're not in the building, bro. So fuck you. I mean, sorry, I say Cosmo, I meant Cosmic. My bad. Sorry, Devin. Yeah. Fuck you.
Well, fuck you, Cosmo, for not rooting for me to get the belt.
Yeah, he's like, just take that motherfucker out, please.
Yeah, like, please, I can't handle this guy. He's too humble.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that showed up, man. Once again, shout out to Cosmo Reverb. Shout out to Ant W. Shout out to who was it? AJ Wolf showed up earlier.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to you. Shout out to Devin, our producer, for showing up. Shout out to Have You Seen It podcast, guys. Go and follow Mason's second podcast, the Have You Seen It podcast. What is up for this week? What are you guys doing this week?
So this weekend, you guys know February is the worst month for films, but we are doing the Foo Fighters, David Grohl's Studio 666. You guys can see that. Our review for that's coming this week. We're going to do an MMA news episode, and then obviously upcoming trailer and trailer reactions. But guys, please, if you do anything next week, tune into our The Batman review. We will be reviewing that. It's one of the most highly anticipated films this year, and I cannot wait to talk about it. It's set to be 2 hours and 43 minutes. It's got a phenomenal cast. Matt Reeves is one of the best directors around. I'm ecstatic for The Batman. I cannot wait for it. So be sure to tune in next week as well. And then this is the worst podcast to plug this on because I'm sure no one are book readers here, but I'm going to plug it anyway. Me and my little sister are starting a podcast March 29th called The Knights Book Club. You guys can find that on YouTube right now. We have not dropped anything, but we will be reviewing a book once a week on that podcast, kind of the same formula as Have You Seen It, where we sit down, we discuss it for half an hour. That's what we'll be doing with the books. We'll be doing a spoiler review, spoiler-free review, and then previewing our next book for next week. So go ahead and check that out if you guys can.
Awesome. Shout out to Mikhaili for that one. Shout out to you for building that. The network is coming, guys. We're building a whole podcasting network, and we'd love for that to blow up here, and we got a lot of different stuff in the works for this week. Obviously, we are doing a fight companion. This is a huge card. We are trying to have special guests on. If that doesn't work out, we might bring Morgan back. We had a lot of fun with him last night. Shout out to everybody that showed up last night. We had Lug, Morgan, and Cash from the Have You Seen It podcast on last night. It was a lot of fun doing that fight companion. So we will be going live probably for the main event of the prelim. So we'll look for us to go live right at 6:30 this Saturday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. Check your local listings for that. Make sure you guys show up. We will be dropping the fight companion early. Make sure you guys like the video and push us up in that algorithm. And if you guys, you don't have to join the Patreon. You don't have to join the congregation. It's very tough out there. We know how hard it is for people to make money these days with all this crazy stuff. Cosmo said Morgan was great. Best shoey of the show ever. Absolutely 100% agree with that. He chugged that shit so quickly. And the shoey I took last night was fucking disgusting, dude. Do you remember seeing that jizz shot?
Yeah, I did.
Did you guys like jerk off into that shoe or something? Because that was disgusting, bro. Like, what in the fuck?
Full transparency. We
Yes.
all did right before. When you were in the bathroom, we all just shot one in. It was a circle jerk, and we made it work.
I figured, dude, it literally looked like a fat fucking load was just dumped right into that shoe. It was disgusting.
It was a very
I tasted
big
all
spit.
of it. It was nasty as fuck.
gross,
It was really gross. Shout out for everyone that did that. Did not appreciate that one bit. Anyways, what was I saying again? Oh, you don't have to join all of that stuff, guys. If you don't want to spend any money, that's fine. But do us a favor, man. When this live stream ends and the comment section opens up, go into the comment section, leave a comment, hashtag for the algorithm. It pushes us up so much, guys. And also, who are you taking in the main event? Let us know your picks on the full card. Bet alongside of us. Obviously, you're not in the Church Coin competition unless you're a Patreon subscriber. But you know, if you want to do some Church Coin bets in the chat, fucking feel free, man. We'd love to see who you guys are picking in this fight night. Make sure you guys show up for that fight companion. Make sure if you haven't already, you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much to each and every single one of you.
Absolutely.
Guys, as always, follow us on all social media accounts. Go to our website, thechurchofmma.com. We're trying to post funny memes. We're trying to make you guys laugh. Hit us up.
Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That is Tabor Cragen. Kelsey in the ones and twos. Shout out to you. And until next time.
Peace.